Hey everybody, it's Josh here with Zoo Tiles, Zoo Studios. I know it's been a minute since I made a video, and the reason why is because I typically don't try to make videos unless I have something that I really want to talk about or something that I really want to say. I don't like making videos just for the sake of making videos, but I have come into possession recently of something that is really, really super important and for zoo tiles. And it's something that I wanted to share with everyone. One way or another, I was going to share it either now or later, but it was going to get shared because it's really, really epic. So I'll just jump into what it is. It's these ceramic zoo tiles. And why do I think these are so cool? Because when I very first envisioned what would become zoo tiles, I thought, well, first I did the tile thing, right? But then I thought, oh, how cool would it be if the tiles were like dominoes, where they kind of clack together really nicely. And another thing I had was just a vision for the game of being around for like 1,000 years. So, something happens, post-apocalyptic or whatever, and then, 1,000 years after that, people are scrounging through stuff and they come across, they brush off some dust, they find some tiles here. And they're like, what are these things? And then they would have to figure it out and maybe go find more tiles. But just the ceramic nature of them just really speaks to like an artifact, like a thing that someone would find. And I just thought that was super cool. And that's a little side note. That's the reason why you don't see any branding on the back of zoo tiles. That's why there's not like any weird zoo logo. It's because you wouldn't find a logo and like on antiquities or artifacts or something, right? They would just be like little things without any like branding on it. So that's a little side story of why these look the way they do, and there's not like some crazy like zoo thing going on here. But anyway, I don't know, well, I do know why, but recently I just really got it. I've always wanted to at least try, and I've looked for years to get ceramic tiles made. I've probably contacted hundreds of people, and they've either blown me off or just said they couldn't do it or whatever. And I went on, for some reason, lately I just had the idea, hey, I'm going to go to Alibaba and I'm going to put in what I'm looking for and see what comes back. And I did that. I did it for ceramics and I did it for wood. So like bamboo or some other wood. And I got some wood ones, but those ones they're not really anything special or anything to write home about. They're the colors of the UV printing were really faded. I think the ink absorbed into the wood, and so they aren't really that great. What makes these great though is that the UV coating, and that's another thing. Technology has really, like within the past 5 years, has really made leaps and bounds improvements. Like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think, these could not exist with like the crispness and the depth of colors. And these are handmade, hand-fired ceramic tiles, 2 millimeters thick, and roughly 2 millimeters thick, and 70 millimeters by 70 millimeters. That's what I was talking to the people on Alibaba, and someone said they could do it. Someone said they couldn't do it. This is one of the guys who said they could do it, and they made a custom mold, and lo and behold, here we go. Now, I just want to share this because I can't explain. There are not the words to explain how marvelous I feel that these are. But as marvelous as I think they are, they probably will never go be sold. And there's a few reasons why they probably will never be sold, but I want to share it anyway because I love it. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing anything related to zoo tiles, is because I like it and I like doing it. One of the main reasons why I don't think I'll ever make a set with ceramics, but I'm still sharing it, is that when you're playing with it, it sounds like you're playing with plates. And so you're just like, and then can you imagine playing somebody and they're just like doing like this or something. They're just like, okay, it's your turn. And they're just like making noise. You know how Magic players or whoever, they flip their cards, like somebody doing something annoying like that. And I don't know, just that you hear that, it's kind of like scratchy and kind of like a little too clacky. Now, there are sleeves, and Zoo Tiles does have sleeves that could mitigate that a little bit, but I did slip a sleeve on there. These aren't exactly the size. They are a little bit bigger, and so they were splitting the normal Zoo sleeves, but I did get one to fit kind of, and while it helps, I don't know, it's just a little too clacky. Now, I took this to pre-release to show some of the store owners of my LGS, like what I got made, and they thought that was super cool. They thought it could be like a special edition or collector's only edition, kind of like a collector's edition and international collector's edition of Magic, you know, do something that's not tournament legal, but maybe make it anyway for the hardcore fans. So maybe that might happen. But anyway, they were very well received, actually. People really liked it, but they also got the fact that these could break, and that, did you hear that? You know how loud that is? Oh my goodness, yeah. I don't know. Let me see. I mean, it would definitely be cool the way they like can just kind of go against each other. That's really cool. So, but I don't know. It's kind of leaning toward no, but I love them, and I wanted to share. And speaking of breaking, yes, they do break. I broke this on purpose, actually, just to see what it would take to break it. And yeah, it took a little bit, but it would break for sure. Like if you're walking through your kitchen or whatever, and one dropped on like concrete or, you know, a hard floor, it would break. So I don't know. But aside from the coolness, which are these ones, I just gave them some images for starter set 2 to do. But what you might also notice are these right here. And this is something else I wanted to talk about. So these, and if you follow Zoo Tiles on social media, I'm sure you've seen these before. And these I think are just so amazing. These don't have like the strength and intelligence or any of the icons on it, right? I just sent them these files just to see what it would look like, and this looks so good. I don't know if it's coming through through the iPhone, but man, this is beautiful. This is like this is a real artifact that, you know, that somebody would dust off, like, and then be like, oh, what is this? And then it would have some symbols, and people would be like, oh, maybe it's a game or something. But anyway, these are just so cool. And I just want to share them. I just want to share them because I love them. Like this dragon, I mean, they all look amazing, but the dragon looks so good. Got the little mouse. I don't want to take them all out because they'll move the camera. Snake looks amazing. Ox. monkey looks super cool. And this is an artist from India, Sucharitas. And everyone really likes the tiger. Horse. And so I got 3 of each of these made. And then I think I got 3 of every tile made. And then I kind of put it on hold as far as doing any more. So if you ever get a hold of these, there's only 3 of them that exist that ever were made. But so anyway, the primary reason for this video is to share the ceramic tiles, which is something that I'm holding in my hand, which is an idea that I've had since 2003. 22 years of a vision, of a desire to see something like be made, and now I finally have it, and it's really, really cool. I mean, I want to the back, it looks so good. The back looks so, look at that design. It's so good. Stacy did an amazing job. So that was the primary reason, to show off these tiles. The secondary reason I wanted to make a video is to give a little update as to what's going on in the world of zoo tiles. Now, people who have been following zoo tiles for a long time, since Starter Set 1 launched, if you've been following it fairly closely, you know all the ups and downs this poor little game has had with Starter Set 2 issues and the Fruits Basket stuff. Yeah, it's just been a very interesting ride, and different strategies in terms of like releasing and when and all that stuff. But anyway, I just want to give an update, right, as far as I know. So my understanding is that the Fruits Basket versions will be coming out in June or July of this year, and that'll be great. And I hope people get them, and I hope they play with them, and I hope they play, I think, what most people will say is a lighter version of zoo tiles, and maybe that's great. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't played it myself either, so I don't know. But one way or another, that'll be coming out. And then we've got the Emberlings game coming out soon. I think soon. I don't have a solid date on it, but I think it's supposed to be coming out soon. I mean, one big wrench that's thrown in this is the whole tariff thing, right? I know the company that the Kraken Game Labs is making Emberlings with, the manufacturer, and I don't want to say anything I'm not supposed to say, but let's just say that as of today, that country at least is very heavily affected, let's just say, by the tariffs. And I don't know what that means for Kraken Game Labs, and I don't know what it means for Emberlings. I don't know if maybe they're going to try to move it to a different manufacturer. I have no idea about that. But hopefully in the next month or two, Emberlings will launch their Kickstarter, and I'm super excited for that. There's so many cool things with that. One thing in particular that I'm not going to spoil, but I just think is really, the whole project and package, I just think is really cool, from some really cool people. Yeah, anyway, so those things are happening. But in addition to those things, okay, so what about core zoo tiles? Like, Josh, what zoo tiles happening? I haven't given this update in a while, and I haven't given an update in a while. But what you don't know, what's been happening behind the scenes, is I commissioned a whole new set of art for Starter Set 1 from Caesar in Argentina. And so he got most of Starter Set 1 done last year. I think he's short by 3 pieces. And I just commissioned him to finish those 3 pieces and do a whole set of art in his style for Starter Set 2. And he said that'll take about a year to do. And so in about a year's time, we should have a whole new set of art for both Starter Set 1 and Starter Set 2. And then I will most likely either publish those myself or do some sort of Kickstarter for it. I don't know. In the meantime, though, So you're like, oh, well, does that mean we're never going to get any real zoo tiles for another year? No, that's not what that means. I've worked with another artist previously, and some people might have heard this, on a little mini set focused on dragon called Dragon Stones. And so where I think the first art, it happened last year. I got 12 different dragons, and I think I want to say 6 or 7, maybe 8 action reaction tiles that are focused specifically around dragons. And so why don't those exist? Well, it really comes down to money, and it comes down to, I don't want to say insecurity, but Zoo Studios and Zoo Tiles is kind of my side hustle for a real job. And I don't want to get into it too much, but basically I'm on a yearly contract. And so every year I don't know whether or not I'm going to be employed or not. And so, but knock on wood, I was this year renewed again for another year. And every year that I'm renewed is more time that, one, I can eat, and two, I can put money into Zoo Tiles. So yeah, that happened. That my contract renews at the end of January every year, and thankfully it was renewed, so I'm super happy. And so because of that, some funds freed up to do things like get these made, and also to start to actually make new Zoo Tiles. And so so I brought on TJ again. TJ, the wonderful graphic designer, senior graphic designer, who did all the design work and iconography for our starter set 1 that was launched, award-winning starter set 1 that was launched back in the day. And so TJ is working on cleaning up some new files, maybe doing a little bit of redesign and some updating, maybe updating some of the icons, updating some of the graphic frames, or the frames, and then being able to drop art into those tile frames. And he's actually working on that right now. So that's the reason why these don't have, like, the icons and the strength and intelligence values, is because I just had these files and I sent them to the people to do this. But hopefully soon these will be in proper frames, and I can start showing them as actual Zoo Tiles. And so these aren't the Dragonstone ones, but I do have these that we will be making in those, and maybe we'll do something like have these as a stretch goal, maybe for a Kickstarter, something like that. So, but anyway, the Dragonstone thing, I want to try and get out this year. So yeah, so that's kind of a big thing. So a mini set focused on dragons out this year. And then next year we can basically relaunch Zoo Tiles with a new different set of art, and see where that takes us. And so then that, you can't talk about Zoo Tiles without talking about, starter set 1 and Hime, what's going on with that. So the focus is to get starter set, a new set without the anime inspired art, out the door and into LGSs. And I think that will be a very cool and well received item. I also want to do reprint starter set 2 with the Hime IP, and there's a bunch of different art for more than starter set 1 and starter set 2, where we could make booster packs out of tiles using the Hime IP and Hime art. And so I just have to kind of figure that out. Is that going to be through a publisher that picks it up and wants to run with it? Is it going to be myself doing it? I don't know about that. But right now the focus is on getting out the mini set, and then getting out a starter set 1 and starter set 2 with Caesar's art. That's going to be called Hidden Patagonia. And it's going to be amazing. Man, it's going to be so good. And then all the while looking, hey, does any publisher want to publish the Hime stuff, which I have a lot. There's a lot of art for it. I think there's like 120, maybe 130 pieces of art kind of ready to go. Those are all going to get dropped into the new TJ frames. And so those should be all ready to go. And I just got to figure out, what to do with them and, you know, is there a market for it? And, you know, do distributors want it? Do LGSs want it? I don't know. So those, I'm definitely going to be dropping every zoo tile that I have the art for. I'm going to be working with TJ to drop them into zoo frames and get them ready to go, get them print ready, publishing ready. So yeah, so that's all the things that are happening. It's April. Hey, I might as well just say, hey, I'm going to I think it's Star City Games thing this weekend in Denver. And if anybody wants to hit me up on DM, wants to play zoo tiles, I'll probably bring some. Probably not, but you know, if anybody does, that's where I'll be. I'll be playing in standard events and stuff, because I'm one of those weirdos that likes standard and actually likes standard. But I'm going to be there, and if anybody wants to play, hit me up and we can meet up and maybe do that. Let's see, is there anything else? Because who knows when I'll make another video. No, I think that's about it, really. But I mean, just look at these guys. Look at these. Look at these. Ceramic. So cool. So cool. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I think that's it. What do we got here? Look at it, 21 minutes. Wow, that's the longest video I've ever made by far, I think. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, everyone. If you've watched this long, that's awesome. That's the biggest update I have. And if anybody has any questions or anything about Zoo Studios or Zoo Tiles, feel free to hit me up on DM. I'm trying to push this thing along as fast as I can and do it with as much passion as I can. These are not things I'm doing because I feel I have to. These are not things I'm trying to do to like cobble together a quick Kickstarter and like take people's money and stuff like that. I love these things, man. Oh, these are so cool. And I hope to make them even cooler. So that's the whole reason. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole vibe. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to end it here. And for people who have been since day one, thank you very much for sticking around. And we'll just keep on keeping on. All right. Thanks a lot. And talk to you guys later. Bye.